But we're going to get you through this. Jackie Beltrao is on Wembley Way. It's very quiet, very different to how it looked last night, Jackie. But you've got some special fans with you who enjoyed, well, is enjoy the right word, that roller coaster ride last night?
I think they did enjoy it, Sarah Jane. Yes, down on Wembley Way, doing a massive clean-up operation down here. There's a lot of beer and cans, and as you can imagine, all around the place. But Billy and Bella Grant were at the match, and Billy, you host the Beesotted podcast, so you're a Brentford fan and you're a huge football fan, and we didn't get the result we wanted as England fans, but I mean, how was it? How was the match? What was the atmosphere like?
Atmosphere was good, you know, for a final. There's a lot of fans there, as you can imagine. There's probably a lot more fans than there should have been in the stadium, to be quite honest with you. It was a lot more tense than the last one. I mean, the semi-final was tense, you know, the Germany game was just euphoria, it was just madness. The last one was tense, but this one you can also feel the tension as well. It was released when we scored that early goal, and it was fantastic. And I have to say again, just like Russia, when we scored that early goal in the semi-final, the first half was just fantastic. You know, we felt like you were there, but in a way you thought, I'm not going to sing too soon, as they say. As any England fan knows, like, you know, it's not over literally till the final whistle goes. And like the second half, it was a little bit, I said, backs against the wall, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the first half, I really thought that we were going to win. Like, I could feel it. But in the second half, as soon as, like, they started having attacks on us constantly, I was quite nervous. And when the first goal for Italy went in, I was just...
Yeah, they were on the ropes, weren't they? It was coming. What was it like inside? 'Cause when I was driving in, I was listening to some radio phone-ins, and some fans were in there and said, actually, they didn't enjoy it as much as they wanted to because they felt the atmosphere was quite intimidating and they were a bit scared, and someone had even had their tickets snatched off them as they were going into the stadium. I mean, did you sense any trouble?
Yeah, what happens is we got here quite early actually. We were drinking down there in a bar that we've always drinking, and we were kind of away from it, and people were coming in, and the people that are coming in who go to games quite a lot said, it's a lot different today. It's a lot different. The crowd's really different. The atmosphere is a lot different. And I think what's happened is that we experience this quite a lot in tournaments. When England get better, in a way, all of a sudden people sort of fly. So if you're in France or you're in Russia, all of a sudden for the semi-final, loads of people have flown in who weren't there before. So you've got a different vibe in the earlier rounds than you do in the later rounds. And I think what's happened again today is like everyone and their clock just came down to Wembley because you could jump on a train and come down here, so you've got just so many different people there. And I must admit, we went in, we actually we're going in two different entrances because you had to, and on the same level. And I was a little bit concerned because Bella was there with her brother and my wife as well, and I was going in one separate entrance myself. And then we noticed there were just characters sort of kind of behind us, trying to squeeze in as we were going in as well. Yeah. And I was a bit worried about you guys as well, because you know, 3 women on their own, and there was another couple of women. Remember, and I called you, didn't I? I mean, were you a little bit nervous?
Yeah, I was quite nervous actually, because it's not like they were just sneaking behind you. They were actually like trying to steal your ticket. So when you beep it, they would just go in front of you and steal your ticket. So like at one point, I thought that we weren't going to get into the game.
Holding on to them really, really tight. Okay, that is a shame, isn't it? They kind of like spoilt it for people. What was the penalty shootout like? Because you have been to every penalty shootout in recent years that England have taken. You're battle hardened.
Every single penalty shootout since Italia '90, I've been behind the goal. Every time it's behind the goal as well. And it was, tell you something, it was one of those ones where, because I was obviously at the Colombia game, and so used to losing penalties, you know, at that Colombia game, we won the penalty shootout, and it was euphoric. That was still kind of one of the best games for the Russian World Cup for me. So I thought, right, the skeleton, we just put that aside. We put the aside for that one. So I thought this one here, I wasn't confident, but I just thought we've done it before. And also, you know, Southgate obviously had his plan where he kind of brought on the 2 players literally on the dot. And we're thinking, we all went, oh, that's substitution. That is a penalty substitution. That is, he knows what he's doing.
And at that point, we were always at time. At that point, did you think he might have brought these players on a bit too late?
No, I thought that he's just bringing them on just for the penalties. You know, I didn't think he's bringing them on to sort of to win the game. He just thought, right, they're perfect penalty takers, and I'm sure they've done it in training. Like I said to you, Gareth Southgate, Chris Powell, all the coaches, they know these players really, really well. But I think the problem is that they're very young. And they've, you know, been it before. If you saw the Italians, they've got these hardened players who have done it before, who just went up there and probably didn't have the nerves. And you've got these really young players who all of a sudden, you know, they're behind your own goal, and your fans are sort of willing you on.
And Donnarumma's standing there, and he's 6'5", and he's like a big giant spider. Who's your favourite player last night, or in the team?
My favourite player in the team this tournament has been Saka, but obviously last night he wasn't so good, even though I feel sorry for him because there's a lot of pressure. But my favourite player last night was actually Shaw, because that goal was just so good, and when it went in, it was just like the best moment ever.
And looking ahead, I mean, they can take lots of positives, can't they, from this whole tournament, to play so many matches and get to the final. I mean, what do you take away from it about this team?
I think first of all it's about the team. You've got a really diverse team who actually, for myself, I'm a Black England fan. I've been going for years, and I've been playing for years. With maybe not necessarily having as many sort of black and ethnic fans around me, but all of a sudden, you've got the team out there which I think represents me, represents my England, represents what I'm about, represents my kids and my friends, and it's got a lot more of my friends who would question why I go to England, because unfortunately England has been tarnished with a reputation which is not been the best, But the fact is, I say no. Actually, supporting England is great. There's some great people that go and support them. There's some great fans that go and support them, and we just need more of you to come in and start supporting them again. So the fact that my friends are now saying they're getting behind there, they're happy to pull the shirt on, happy to carry the flag, I think that's a good thing, because England is a diverse country, and that's what it's about.
And that is amazing that's what you take away from it. It's not about the football, it's about something much bigger. Billy and Bella, thank you so much for getting up early after such a late night last night. And sorry we didn't get the result that we wanted, but we have got the World Cup, and it is just next year. And good luck to Brentford as well.
Come on.
Next season.
My team won at the
in the Premier League. SJ.
Thanks, Jackie. They deserve medals for being so positive about England this morning, and like you said, getting up before 8 a.m. I don't think many England fans will be out of bed yet. They'll be watching us with a cup of tea in bed, hopefully.